All right, I watched the whole thing, and man, the very first question was just like an attack.
It was a straight on attack.
I didn't understand what the reason was for all the heat. The man just came on the stage, and I forget the woman's name. She just starts drilling him as he came down.
First question.
Yo, and what was funny is Trump's like, well, you didn't even greet me. You know what I'm saying? You come down, you're attacking him. And not only that, they were 30 minutes late. They started
Trump
30 minutes late.
Right.
And I'm like, yo, that's good that he said that. You know what I mean? Because you can't be late to your own conference.
This man is running for the president of the United States.
This is a former president. Let's stay with the facts. This is a former president.
Still be addressed as Mr. President because he was a former president. People address Obama as Mr. President still because he held that seat in the office. So even though Trump is running for president again, he still served one term, and he was the 45th president of the United States. So I feel like respect has to be given to him because of his position. He led this. He was in that leadership role for this country. First question. Talking about, oh, you're racist this, you ate with the KK member this, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what the fuck? So Trump was like, that was just extremely rude. Why would you ask a question so nasty? And I agree because, bro, I'm watching it. And I'm like.
It was absolutely unnecessary. Like, be civil. You know, if this was Obama, she wouldn't have done that. They would have been on time. They would have been on time.
They would have been on time.
You know, but he also said Kamala was supposed to be there and she didn't show up.
Yeah, so I didn't even know that either.
But she black though, so why wasn't she there? This is the National Association of Black Journalists. Why wasn't Kamala there? Trump showed up.
So
he's a racist and he went into a
Lion's Den, bro.
To the Lion's Den. You know, that's a good way to put it. Like, why wasn't Kamala there to shine? She should have been able to shine. Like, yeah, like you said this and immunity for cops and this, that, and the third. Like, that was her moment. And where was she?
And the media is not giving her any shit for not showing up. The media is giving shit to Trump because when Biden was running, Biden put in, him and Biden agreed to the debate format.
Mm-hmm.
Now Biden dropped out. Trump wants to change it up. They were like, oh, why are you not sticking to what you agreed to? He agreed to that with Biden, not Kamala. So now he's like, well, if you want to debate me, I want it on Fox News now, no longer on MSNBC. And I think that's totally within his right because if y'all just going to drop out middle, election season, he has the right to go back to the table and stir the agreement around.
Mm-hmm.
So he's catching flack for that. But nobody is addressing Kamala for not showing up to a black conference to talk to black Americans on why they should vote for them or vote for her. Nobody's saying nothing. Trump brought it up, and you don't even see the media saying a word about it, bro.
It's like they're very selective. Like, I understand, like, people hate the guy. And again, I made my political views clear. I'm not voting for either or. I wasn't voting for Biden. I wasn't voting for Trump, and I'm damn sure not voting for Kamala. If that's what the Democrats, the best that they have, and this is how her views are, and this is what she's going to be doing, I definitely don't want to go down that road either. But it's just sad that everyone is highlighting all the little minute stupidity conversations that's not actual policy. You know, we're voting based on this woman being black, allegedly now. And I don't care. Look, listen, I don't give a shit about what anybody else thinks. Oh, her mother is Indian and her father is Jamaican. Fuck all that nonsense. Because if you become the first senator, the first Indian American senator of California,
mm-hmm.
You did not become the first first black senator of California. You prioritize your Indian heritage. That means you identify as being Indian.
And that's fine.
There's no problem with that.
Exactly.
But you can't come now with 100 days left and then you're going to tell me all of a sudden you're black?
That's what we're saying, bro. That's what, I'll say this. I think Trump was wrong for addressing that. But he's literally saying, go in the streets, bro. That's what a lot of people are talking about. I go on the streets and debate people in the streets at the parks. Well, other Black Americans, everybody's saying the same thing. Look, nobody can control how you come into this world. I personally don't care if she's Black, white, Indian, Muslim, whatever. I don't care. But if you were recognizing with your Indian heritage, before the election, and that's fine. But don't try to pander to Black people now, saying, "Oh, now I'm going to use my Black side to try to gain some votes." I think that's corny. Mm-hmm. If you didn't recognize as Black before, don't do it now because it's time to get elected. That's just my thing. So, like, if she was choosing to recognize as, Black before, Indian before, fine. But it's just like, come on. I think it's just corny just to try to get the Black vote. And it kind of shows you how little they have to do to get the Black vote. Or you got to say, oh, yeah, I'm Black. Bring Megan down. We're going to talk about that later.
Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about that.
Bring her ass on the stage, twerk. Yeah, now I got the Black vote. She's not doing nothing to cater to us. No policies in place. Nothing. She didn't come to the damn Black conference. She's basically saying to Black America, I got your vote in the bag. I don't need to come.
I don't need to come because I identify as Black now.
Exactly. She's literally disrespecting Black America and saying, I don't need to come to the conference because I already know I have your vote. Trump needs to come to talk about how he plans to help Black America. But, back to that conference, the questions they asked him, bro. Mm-hmm. They were literally just attacking Trump and saying how much we don't like you, why you should be for president. Now, they didn't discuss his policies. They barely discussed his policies. And one thing I was looking for, I want everybody to try to remember. In 2020, Ice Cube partnered with Donald Trump on the Platinum Plan, right? Basically, it's a lot of things that he wants to happen for Black America, like better health care, build better Black businesses, a lot of things for the Black community. Trump was on it. Obviously, he didn't get reelected, so it really didn't continue. So I was hoping at this conference that, like, hey, in 2020, you partner with Ice Cube on the Platinum Plan. Is this something you still trying to implement for Black America? Not a soul and ask that question. How are you a national Black conference?
And if you don't have the Platinum Plan or don't know what it is, please use this moment to Google what it is. It's a really good plan. A lot of stuff focusing on Black jobs, Black businesses, and definitely making the Juneteenth a federal holiday. So there's a lot of things in there that also giving money to HBCUs, which Trump has done before already, but it's a good plan that outlines a lot of stuff that Black people need or would want.
This was the conference to ask him about that. Because you supported it before, you should ask him like, hey, or is this something you still hoping to implement for Black America? They didn't ask him. So now because they missed the opportunity to ask him, I don't know when. I don't know when they're gonna have like another Black reporter to ask him, or like I don't know when is the next opportunity to ask him about this, like the debates.
I mean, because they're gonna be focusing on campaigning right now,
exactly,
because they have to go to the battleground states like Pennsylvania, the ones the Washington, like those states, or I mean Massachusetts, where those states are like
either or,
very close to either or type joints. So I mean and it makes sense because but that was a good opportunity to ask these type of questions like, hey, what about this Platinum Plan? So-and-so Ice Cube approached you with these things and some of the stuff is on there. Like, are you going to continue that? Or like those were Black related questions that I expected them to ask for people that hated him so much. Like, come on now. But yet it was just a fueled up emotional fight against the man. Like,
exactly, bro.
What sense was that about?
And then, you know, they did ask him about police immunity. And at the end, I think this is something they should have asked in the beginning. Even though Trump has voiced his opinion on Project 2025, this is something they should have brought up in the beginning or like mid-interview. If people wanted further clarification, especially Black America, on what Project 2025 is and if that's something that he's endorsing. They brought that up when they're like, oh, there's no more time left. He has to go. And I'm like, why wouldn't you bring that up in the beginning? Like, y'all were 30 minutes late, so the interview was only about 35 minutes. That's not enough time. Minimum, it should have been an hour. That's not enough time to be interviewing the former president of the United States and somebody who's trying to, you know, capture that seat again. So if you had a limited amount of time, you had to say, all right, let me get these emotional bullshit questions out the way. Let's start attacking about your policies, what you're going to be doing for Black America. Let the emotions get in the way, bro.
And that's like the main crux of that entire interaction of him being there. Like, it's a Black conference. It's a Black conference, basically. You have all these other Black journalists in the crowd, you know, like they want to hear good questions. They want to put him on the spot. And, you know, I think, you know, the only thing, and look, I'm not trying to pick up for the man, but you got to give him some credit for showing up. Mm-hmm. Got to give him some credit for clarifying what he meant by the Black jobs. You gotta give him some credit for, you know, they put him on the spot about the cop that shot the woman in the face, what he would do with it. And honestly, I say his answer was bullshit. He bullshitted on it.
I think it was a bullshit answer.
Yeah, it was a bullshit answer, right? But again, you really want to hold him accountable, so you got to attack him on that, right? Like, what do you mean you don't know? How could you not know? You know what I mean? Like,
I was so disappointed. I was like, what do you mean you don't know?
Yeah, like, what do you mean you don't know? Like, that's a big thing that's going on right now.
Yeah, it's
right?
like, you telling me nobody brought that to your attention? It's like, all right, you're running for the president of the United States. I can understand you have a busy schedule, but you're telling me, as much as your ass on Twitter, nobody brought this up to your attention? As many as people you have in your corner that brings up other stories to your attention.
Yeah, other bullshit stories that... The one about JD Vance, yeah, and they were hawking on his VP. Yeah. The one about JD Vance talking about old people with cats that don't have kids. I'm like, you find that to be more important than the woman that got killed and slain by a cop? Like, you can't...
I thought that was some bullshit.
You know what I mean? Like, that was some bullshit. But, like, again, the journalist shouldn't have been harping on his VP about that stupid cat nonsense.
Bullshit.
Harp on an actual crime that happened. Okay, then bring up... All right, well, if in the George Floyd case, would those police officers get immunity?
That's what I'm saying.
How would that work? You know, or all, like, you know, give some examples of other cases that police were brutal to Black people.
I wanted them to double down on the police immunity because I didn't like his answer on that. And to be honest, he got, because it was such limited time, he got away with saying some bullshit answers. Mm-hmm. It's like, you don't know. And then it's like,